So we learned AWS VPC, some services like VPC, how to create a VPC from scratch, how to configure the components like subnet, routable, and yesterday we discussed these things, right? Like we yesterday we created a VPC
Yes.
and two subnet we created, two routable created, created a inner gateway and attached the VPC, and this also associate with the corresponding subnet. I mean the root table.
Yes.
So today we deploy a virtual machine. Okay, because the networking part's done actually. Now we will check everything is okay or not. How to check to deploy mission and check the access. So this is the public one, and this is private. Okay, so two subnets are here. See, this is my VPC, right? Yesterday we created Guru School VPC. Here we can see the resource map actually. When opening a corresponding VPC, we can see the resource map. So see, uh, this is our VPC. So the VPC have two subnet. See, this is public. So this is pointing to or associate with the root table GS public RT, and it's pointing to internal gateways. So this has some internal connection. Got it? So the next subnet is Guru School private. So it's only associated with the root table. There is no internal connection. So the next thing is to configure a virtual machine in AWS. So there is a service name that is called EC2. What it stands for means Elastic Cloud Computing. That's EC2 means. So yeah, now I am in the EC2 dashboard. So here we can see the resources, under the resources, instance, IPs, load balancer, all things we can see here. So our case, we need to deploy a instance. Okay. So instance means instances of the virtual machine. Okay. So in our case, there is no machines. That's why it's 0. Just click there. And here, see, there is no machine in our dashboard. So how to configure a virtual machine? Launch instance. Uh, may I know, anyone have experience in creating virtual machine previously? Anyone done?
Yeah, on premise, I have configured it like virtual machine.
Not in cloud or AWS, right? All of you.
No.
Expect I'm all
No, not in cloud.
okay. Okay.
Only in like some practice session like this on Amazon.
Okay. Okay. So this is a dashboard to configure or providing our details for the required machine. Okay. So in our case, we can choose name for the virtual machine. Okay. So first we need to provide the name for our virtual machine. So I'm providing some name like server. Any name we can provide. And keep in mind, because when you are in production environment, there is a lot of machines like 100 machines, 200 machines like that. So we need to provide the name accordingly. So easily we can find the machine and what purpose for the machine or which application is belongs to the machine. So the naming conversion is like that. You provide the name. The next thing is you need to choose the operating system, right? Because as of now, the machine is bare metal, considered like that. Now we are attaching some OS, I mean operating system for the machine. So here we can see there is a lot of machines, I mean operating systems there. Amazon Linux. This is a Linux operating system, but this is customized for Amazon. They will customize actually. Amazon customized the Linux, and it's a Amazon Linux version. That's all. Then macOS is there, Ubuntu there, Windows Server there, Red Hat, SUSE Linux, Debian, and we can search more from the market. So you can see. I will go with the Amazon Linux. Okay, it's a Linux-based operating system. Some of the can change. Okay, so I'm choose Amazon Linux. Uh, yeah, this is a description. This is a 2023 version, and the architecture here we are going with the latest 64-bit architecture. This is a boot mode related to the OS, MAID, all the things are there. Here, the next, first we choose, means we provide the so patching it down into suppose. Okay, so I'm choose. Then coming to instance type, okay. This is actually the configuration of the machine. Here, when we drop down, you can see there is a lot of configuration, different configuration there. Different configuration there, like T2, starting with the T2 Nano, then T2 Micro, then T2 Micro. Yes, that is selected. then T2 small, T2 medium, T2 large, T2 2x large, T2 T3 nano. It's starting with the T3, okay? Then T3, T3, T3 large. Yeah.
These are physical computer with configurations, right?
No, 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 no. This is not a physical. This is a configuration actually. So when we are going to a shop to buy a computer, okay, or a laptop, I mean, we will explain our requirement to the, I mean, the shop. I mean, to the shop, okay, person who are there. So, for example, I need a 2 GB 2 GB RAM, and 6 core CPU. That's my specification. So they will take some laptop or machines as per our requirement. Okay. So in this case, we need to choose the corresponding machine as per our requirement. For example, the our requirement is to deploy a complex application. So based on that, we need to choose the corresponding machine. For example, some huge database, that's a requirement. We need to set up a database, and inside the database there is a lot of data. Okay, like uh, yeah, we need to process lot of data. So as per the requirement, we need to choose. For example, for that scenario, there is a big size. We need to create a big size database. So for that purpose, we need to choose a simple machine. Our machine will be hang or it's crash, right? So accordingly, we need to choose a big size machine. You can see here, coming to first machine, T2 Nano. The T2 Nano is family of T2. Coming to machine configuration, there are different families there, okay? This family is T2 family. T2 family. This family is T3 family. See, the family means it's a group of some configuration. That's all, okay? Then this is C5 family. Sometimes when we facing some interview, the interviewer asks, oh, what are the families you are familiar with? I mean, coming to virtual machine. So we can say like I am working with the family, C5 family, T2 family, T3 family, like that. Family, C5AD. These are the high-end machines. I mean, see, C5D 2x large. The machine CPU is 8 core CPU. See, 8 virtual CPU, 16 GB memory. So these are highly, top end machines, and that machines see consume five 5 cent USD dollar per hour for running this single machine. Again, C5D 9x large, it's 36 virtual CPU and 72 RAM, 72 GB RAM. Per hour, we need to pay 1.85 cents dollar for running this machine. Against high-end machine, 48 GB RAM, 72 GB RAM, sorry, core CPU. For you just know that we are using laptop, right? That is only like 4 CPU or 6 CPU maximum. Our Pentium machines are only 2 core CPUs. So here, this is just 72 core CPU. So all thing we need to choose as per the requirement. Okay. See, this is 384 GB RAM. Per hour, we need to pay $6. So we don't bother about for our test purpose. We can choose the free tier. Okay. So choosing free tier, we didn't pay anything because we have some quota for the free tier account. Uh, I mean, the quota means we can start some machines for free, some limited hours, like 72 hours or anything like that. So after our lab, we need to stop our machine. That's all. After the quota, it will charge like this USD, like 0.0116 USD per hour. Okay. So I'm going to start a free tier account like T2 Micro is fine. For the T2 micro, only one virtual CPU and 1 GB RAM. That's fine. But coming section or when we start jump into DevOps, we need to configure some CI/CD pipelines and deploying different multiple applications into some machine. So that purpose, we need to choose some high-end machine. Okay. Now this is the instance type. The next thing is key pair. So key pair is actually a encrypted code. Okay, it's a some encrypted code for accessing our machine remotely. Got it? Because how we remotely access the virtual machine? First, we need to provide the machine IP, public IP. Then we need to provide the machine key. Okay, or keygen. So how before creating virtual machine, we need to create the keygen or key pair, and using that key pair, we need to log in. Okay. For example, if I configure this machine and I send the IP to you, or you can't log in because you need to provide the keygen along with the IP. Otherwise, you can't log into the machine. It's a one more layer security. That's all using key pair. Okay. So I will create a key pair from scratch. So here we can. Otherwise, we can choose from the drop down. We can choose existing key pair, or else we can create one key pair for this machine. So how to create? Create a new key pair. Give it a name. GSPM. This is an encryption type. Okay, RSA and ED 254. So mostly we are using the default one, RSA. And here we can see different file version, PEM and PPK. PEM for open SSH application and PPK for PuTTY application. These two applications are using for remote or the login, like for example, PuTTY. So this is a PuTTY, okay? I'm opening PuTTY. Give me a second. I need to authenticate. I think my PuTTY faced some issues. We can leave it. Okay. So yeah, we can directly convert from here. That's all I mean. So we can choose the default one. PEM is fine, and give it a name.
I think you hadn't selected .ppk, so that's why your putty didn't work.
Sorry.
If you had set the .ppk
Yeah.
radio button,
Yeah.
then maybe putty.
Yes, when we are choosing .ppk, we can directly using this file for authenticating with the PuTTY.
Yeah, yeah.
Or with the PEM, we can extract this thing. Okay. For example, if we choose PEM, then no problem. There is a file in our local machine. So using that file, we can extract this PEM to PPK in PuTTY using PuTTY generator. So we can choose PEM. PEM is fine, I think. The PEM is in all using all the applications. And create key pair. Now you see my key pair is downloaded and it's saved in my local machine. Okay, there is a file that is in my local machine, and here it is automatically selected the newly created PEM file. And yeah, the next thing is networking settings. Whenever we choosing a machine or configure a machine, we need to provide the networking scenario, right? This machine belongs to this network and this subnet and all the things we need to provide. Because in our case, there is a lot of network. Network in the sense of different VPC, okay? Whenever I'm opening the VPC console, you can see there is a lot of VPC there. So here we can choose edit, and yeah, by default, it's pointing to Guru School. See, these are the different VPC. So in here, we need to choose the corresponding VPC. Okay. So I'm choosing Guru School. Then the subnet here. So under the Guru School, all the subnet will list here. So I am choosing the corresponding subnet. My subnet will go to GS public actually, because this is a this virtual machine I am going to configure is for deploying a sample web application. So the next thing is auto assign IP, public IP, sorry. By default, it's disabled, okay? So here we need to choose it enable or disable, because as per the requirement, we need to choose. For this purpose, I need a public IP because I need to log in this machine remotely. And this machine I am providing to public to access the application. So this should be have the public IP, okay? So I'm choosing enabled. Then the next thing is firewall. Firewall is it's a again it's a rule actually. We need to provide some rules. This is called actually security groups. Okay. In AWS, the firewall name is called the security group. This is act in front of the virtual machine. Okay. For example, I will explain. Consider this is a virtual machine. So we created a security group. Okay. And this is security group. Consider this is a security group. Security group. And this is the virtual machine. So this security groups similarly act like a firewall. Anyone heard about firewall?
Yes. So
Okay.
before entering any company or that intranet, there is certain rules and regulation, rules, protocols defined there. If it matches, then only it's extra security. Right.
Yes. For example, mm, yeah, this is our laptop, okay, or a personal machine or a server, no problem. Each machine have a logical ports, right? Logical ports. Logical ports. So for what I mean, the PCs have the logical ports means uh, around 65,536 logical ports are there. 65,335. So, 65,535. 35 logical ports are there. Okay. For what purpose these ports are in PC? Anyone know?
Each port is assigned some task. So there's one for
Yes.
HTTP,
Yes,
one
yes,
for OpenSSH. So they've
yes,
been kind of distributed for particular uses.
yes, yes, yes.
There's a whole
Cons
list. If you Google list of ports and protocols, you'll get a list.
yes, we need to learn some common ports. For example, DNS ports, HTTP ports, HTTPS port, some FTP port, different common. We need to learn some common ports like 10 to 15 ports we need to learn. For example, I will give some example. Okay, consider this laptop have one application. Okay, this is a laptop and this laptop have one application. I mean some web application, and they expose the web application to public. So there is a application running behind the machine, and the DNS name is abc.com. Consider abc.com. So anyone trying with the abc.com, they are accessing their app. I mean this application. Okay. So for example, I am using abc.com. Okay, typing abc.com. So my request goes like this. Okay. First I am hitting this PC. Okay. Using what? It is abc.com. There is some corresponding IP for the abc.com. So it's resolved with that IP and hitting to the corresponding machine. So this is a machine. First I am here. Okay. Not I am getting into the application. So this application is a HTTP application. Okay. That is one protocol, HTTP. Different protocols there. HTTP protocol we are using for web application. Okay. And so this web application HTTP protocol have one port number is assigned for that HTTP protocol. The port number is 80. Port 80 is default port number for HTTP. So where they give the port 80 from the logical ports. We already discussed there are 65,535 and 535 something ports there, logical ports. These are actually logical ports. Okay. So from this range, the 80 is fixed for HTTP. Similar way, there are this much applications are there in our PCs. Uh, so as per the application, we need to enable the port. Okay. For example, I am going to create a virtual machine. Okay. So this virtual machine have this much port number. Okay. 65,530 ports are there. But we need to close all the port. By default, when coming to AWS, by default, the all ports are closed. Okay. All ports are closed. And we need to open the corresponding from this logical ports list. So for example, I am creating the virtual machine. Okay. So after that, I need to authenticate this machine. Okay, like remote connection. So for remote connection, we are using another port like HTTP. Another protocol like HTTP. That name is SSH, Secure Shell Connection. SSH. This is another protocol for remotely accessing a machine. Okay. So this protocol have one port. The port number is 22. So when we creating, sorry, yeah, when we creating a virtual machine, we need to enable this port. Otherwise, we can't log into the machine remotely. Okay. So similar way, we need to open the port for our requirement. And the next thing is I need to enable this port, okay, because I need to remotely log into the machine. And I am going to deploy one application. That application in HTTP, okay, format. So what will do? I need to enable the port 80 as well. Otherwise, whenever someone accessing our application, they can't see our application because they are going through the ports actually. These requests are going through the corresponding port. For example, here this laptop, there is application that is HTTP application, but I am disabled the port number 80. So someone using to access our application, they can't access our application because the port number 80 is closed. Otherwise, the port number is open, then my request go through the port number 80. Okay, go through the port number 80 and port number 80 is pointing to the corresponding application.
Okay.
Why we are closing the unused ports? Because attackers are or the hackers are first first they are looking for some open ports in some machines. Got it? Whenever they are hacking, okay, they will using some tools to access uh, some some scanner there, okay, to identify open ports of some specified machine. So for example, they are hacking this laptop. So first they know the IP, okay, because this application they know this for example, how we Google, okay, coming to Google, we know there's google.com is their domain name. So we can easily look up their google.com, so we can getting the their IP. Okay, so using that IP we can checking that corresponding machine have some open ports or not using some tools. Then they will doing some script or some programming to access the machine or gaining the access of the machine. But that's why we are closing all the ports using the security group. So everything we need to provide in the security group of AWS. So coming to security group, here we can, by default, there is a security group is created here, launch wizard one. So we can go with the default one, or else we can choose some existing one, or we can choose existing one from here. Okay. So here we can create security group. See, we can provide some description here, like this is for SSH and HTTP. So whenever we can see the security group, we can easily find that is using description. We can find that this security group is for these two protocol like that. So the next thing is we need to provide the inbound and outbound rule in the security group. Okay. So inbound rule mostly we are concerned about. Outbound is we mostly avoiding because there is no problem with outbound rule. Because that is from our mission to the world, okay, I mean external connection. But inbound rule is external connection to hitting our machine. That's why we are more concerned about the inbound rule. So here we need to provide and we need to open the corresponding port. So here I am choosing by default it's open the SSH. Okay, here we can choose different protocols like UDP, SMTP, DNS, HTTP, LDAP. These are the common application and ports. Okay, RDP is there. So for Linux, coming to Linux, we are using SSH. If we are configuring Windows, then we need to open RDP. Okay, RDP, remote desktop protocol. So the remote desktop protocol is another port. The 3389 is the default port number. So I am choosing SSH because I'm configuring Linux machine. And the protocol is by default TCP. The port number, default port number is 22. We can't change that thing. And the source type. Source type means the location. Who are accessing this machine through the SSH? That's the point in this actually. So this is anywhere means anyone in the world can access this machine using SSH port. Okay, but they have the IP and the PEM key. That's a requirement. So here we can choose like custom. For example, only AMOL is accessing the machine. So what we'll do, the requirement is like that. For example, when we are working in a company, the manager request is please create a virtual machine and assign to me. Only I can use the machine. So what we'll do, we are creating the machines as per the requirement and coming to the SSH port and choose a custom. And here we can add the IP of the manager. Got it. So for example, this is only I can access the machine. So what we'll do here, if here I can, there is a my IP option there. So choosing the my IP, it will see fetching my internet IP here. This is my public IP of my laptop. See, this is my public IP, 197 last. Okay. So I am going with anywhere, no problem, because I have the PEM key, so I didn't bother about that. If I share the PEM key with anyone, they can access the machine with the IP as well. So description we can provide in the description. So I am leaving that. The next thing is configure storage. This is actually the hard disk actually. Okay. All I know the hard disk, right? For saving, I mean, keeping our data. So in this case, a 1 into 8, only 8 GB hard disk I am attaching to the machine. That's enough. And I think we are good to create, I mean, launch the machine. So I'm just clicking. I didn't go with the advanced settings. Advanced settings, there is some predefined user data, something like that we can add to the advanced detail. Some coming section, we will add that thing. Now I am going to launch the instance. See, it's creating a machine as per our requirement. It will take, I think, less than 2 minutes or 1 minute. Yeah, it's successfully initiated. So we can go, this is idea of the mission. Okay, we can go to back the instance page. We can see there's a mission is in, there's a mission there listed there. So the mission name is server test. Instance state is pending. It will take some other minutes like 2 minutes or below 2 minutes. Then the mission type is T2 micro. Statistic is not fetched here. It will take some time. And the availability zone, public IP, monitoring is disabled. All things we can see here. Okay, the key name is GSVM, launch date, platform is Linux. So see, our machine is running state. And this is, see, the status check. This is a 2x2 check. Okay, the 2x2 check means in the data center, actually in data center, there is 2x2 check there. First check is regarding the software, and the next check is regarding the physical machine and the network power and all things they are checking. Okay. Nothing actually. One is for software checking, one is for hardware checking. Hardware checking include the power of the machine and the network is fine, stable, all the things they are checking. We will get a 2x2 with check is passed. Okay. Now the machine is accessible, but they are, in meantime, they are checking these things in background. These are done by the Amazon. Okay. We didn't bother about that. If we are facing, for example, 2x2 is not passed, 2x1 is passed, then we need to restart the machine, or we need to check with the Amazon support team for checking the machine status or anything like that. Whenever we are in production world, okay. Yeah. So I'm just quickly connect with the machine. Try. My put is, I think, not open. Mm, Yeah, we can easily connect with the Cloud Shell. Okay, no problem. Just choose the machine, and there's option called see connect, and here we can ECT instant connect. Okay, we are going with the instant connect. Just connect. After we configure all the things, we will get a machine here. Otherwise, our VPC configuration is not good. That means okay. Yeah, everything is fine. So I got the machine here. See, that means our VPC is okay. Internet gateway is attached. The subnet is public. Otherwise, we didn't get the connection. Okay. Yeah, see, the 2 by check is done.
In this instance, where we have associated the VPC, like both are
Sorry.
separate, right? While creating the instance,
Ah,
we before we created the VPC and then we are creating the instance for EC2. So where is the link between EC2 and VPC? We are not
uh,
associating it, right?
yeah, in settings, see, going to the networking, we can see the VPC subnet, all the things. See, this machine is under the VPC Guru School and the subnet in Guru School Public. This is
But
the
while we were doing the configuration, we didn't associate it, right? It auto associated or what?
no, we need to choose the corresponding VPC under the network option.
Okay.
Did you miss? I go through the section like how to
Okay.
choose the corresponding VPC. By default, it will choose the latest VPC, or sometimes it's randomly, no problem. But we need to ensure that the machine's network under the corresponding VPC. So I am choosing the Guru School VPC, and I am changing the subnet as well because the default subnet is pointing to private actually. So I am choosing the public.
Okay. Got it.
Mostly we are working with the command line. Okay, as a DevOps engineer or a cloud engineer, our most works done in these types of terminal. So we need to learn the Linux commands, some common commands there. So we will go through the each commands and for what purpose we are using the command, all the things. Okay. So you all are new to the Linux, right?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
I have some idea. I have worked in Linux too.
No, okay.
I have worked in Linux a bit.
You are, I think, a Linux administrator, right? Amol.
Yes, for a very small network, but yes. Commands are same, right?
Yes. Yeah. So first we need to update the packages, okay, of the application using, this is actually Linux version. So I'm using yum. Nothing there. So our requirement is now, yeah, this is our virtual machine. Okay, everything is fine. We enable the port SSH. Machine is running. We got the command line. Then we need to deploy a sample application. Deploy a sample web application. Web app directly into the virtual machine. Okay. So anyone know what are the prerequisites to deploy a web application? There are prerequisites, right?
Install a Apache web server and start it.
Right. So whenever we deploy an application, before that we need to install the web server. Anyone heard about web server?
Yes.
So what is a web server?
For every language, the like for Java, it's like Apache. For WebSphere is there for Java and other. So generally, uh, application is we can it's a server like application is running there.
Yes. Sir, web
It
server.
responds to HTTP and HTTPS requests.
Yes. The main role of a web server is this is the application. Okay. Console, this is the computer. And inside the computer, we install the web server. And inside the web server, we deploy the application. There is application is running here. App. So someone accessing our application. So the web server will, okay, getting the request from. This is actually someone accessing means they are requesting actually. Okay, requesting to the server that I need to watch the application. Please grant the things or something like that. There is a two-type authentication like handshake or there. So this is a request actually. The request first hitting to the web server. So the web server will serve the content. Okay, you can access the application. There is some authentication to the user and they can view the application. Again, another request there. Okay. So the web server will take action. Again, it will take the same thing. Okay. You can access like that. So the web server will serve the contents and managing the HTTP request. Mostly these requests are HTTP. Without a web server, what will happen? Nothing happen because there is no one to handling these type of requests and serving the content, right?
Right.
Got it? Okay. So first we need to install corresponding web server. Okay. So here we are going with I'm audible, right?
Yes, we can hear you. Yes.
Okay. So in our case, I'm going with Apache. Okay. And Apache is one of the web server, common web server Apache. And coming to DevOps, we are mostly working with the Nginx. It's another web server. That a web server have some more features like load balance, software level load balancer, and reverse proxy. So other advantages with the Nginx. So now we are going with we are installing Apache. Okay. So going to the machine. So coming to Linux, there are so many commands there for installing application and configuring these applications. Okay, so we need to learn some commands. First, we need to, now I am in the user mode. Okay, see, this is the username, EC2 user. So now this machine is logging with this user, EC2 user. But for this user have some access privilege, okay, some limitation. So I am just going to the root user, okay. Root user have maximum privilege, no limitation, okay. So I am just switching to root user, okay. So sudo su. See, now I am switching to root user, another user. So now I am able to install applications or configuring all the things, no problem, because now I am in an admin privilege like a root user. Then we can directly install the Apache web server. This is a command for installing any application from the internet. Actually, when I am typing the command, hit enter, then the machine will downloading the latest package from internet. Okay, that's the scenario. So this is a command yum install. Yum is the package manager of this Linux version. So I am choosing yum, then install. Then we need to provide the package, which application, or for example, I need to install Docker, then I need to choose the Docker here, or that, any application like SQL or MySQL, then you need to specify the application name after the install command. In our case, I am going with the HTTP Apache application. So I am choosing HTTPD. HTTPD is another name of Apache in this Linux version. So I am choosing HTTPD. Then dash y for sometimes when we are installing application, there's some prompts there, yes or no. So we need to again type yes and continue the installation package. But we can choose the yes from here. So it won't ask for the yes or no again. See, it will downloading the package from the internet and installing our package into our system. It's done. See, it's completed. So we can say in our virtual machine, we successfully install Apache web server. See, we can check the status of the applications. Okay, any application, we can check the application status using systemctl command in Linux machine. Okay, in Linux means Linux, Ubuntu, all machines we can, using this command like systemctl and status, then the service name. Now I am checking the installed service, the application status, but the application status here, see, the active is inactive, means it's dead. So how to, I think this application is not started. That's why it's seeing here like inactive. So using the same command, we can start the machine. Okay, systemctl.
Right.
Instead of
Run
start, we can
HTTP.
change as start. Okay, start
Start.
HTTP. Again, I am checking with the previous command. See, now it's active, running. Okay. So we are using system. For example, I need to stop the machine. Okay. What will do? not stop the mission, stop this application, or the service HTTPD. Just remove the status and stop. Again, I am checking the status. See, it's inactive. I'm started again. See, it's running again. So sometimes we need to restart the application, okay? For example, some configuration, related configuration we done. After that, we didn't stop or start. We can easily restart the service. So just remove the status and we need to restart there. Like systemctl restart the application name. For example, this is Docker. In the Docker case, we can choose remove the Docker. Okay, Docker. Because any application we will do the same things. Okay, using the systemctl command. When I hitting enter, it will show there is no Docker or anything in our system. See, fail to restart Docker because the Docker is not found in the system. We didn't install Docker. Now you got some idea, right? Using the systemctl command for checking the application status, starting, stopping.
Yes.
Yes, we know this.
So whenever we installing the HTTPD, some directories are created. Okay, so we need to check the directories. So I am going with the cd variable. The ls command for listing the contents. Okay, so whenever I am choosing ls, it will choose these are the subdirectories or folders or files that under the corresponding directory. My corresponding directory is var because I am changing my directory. CD for change directory. Change directory. Then we need to specify the directory that we need to go. So here I specified I need to go with the var. So now I am in var. So I need to check. So yeah, now we are in var. See, first root, then the IP, then user, EC2 user. Then I change the directory. Now I am in var. There are a lot of directories there, some predefined directory or default directory. So var is one default directory. Okay. So now I am in, no, sorry, now I choose the ls command for list the contents inside the var. So these are the contents inside the var. So we need this directory www. So again, what we'll do, I'm changing the directory using which command? cd www. See, now I am in www. Okay. Again, I need to know what are the things under the www directory. Directory in the sense of like a folder. Okay. So I am in a folder like www. So inside the folder, what are the things there? I'm using ls command. See, these are again, there is two folder inside the www. So my requirement is open the HTML folder. So again, I'm going to cd HTML. Hit enter. See, now I am in HTML. Again, I need to know what are things inside the HTML. So nothing there. See. So here, what will we do? We need to create a index.html file inside the HTML folder. So the index.html file mostly for HTTP web application. Okay. Inside the index.html file, we need to keep the application codes, actually HTML code. So I am going to create a index.html file. So how to create a file inside a Linux machine?
You can
Different.
use nano and
Hmm.
then file name Or any editor you like, Emacs, Vim.
Yes. There are I think there are three ways to create a file inside Linux. One is first we can directly create a file like using touch command. Touch. Touch, then the file name. It will create a file. Okay. Like index.html. Then I again checking what are the things inside the HTML. Before there is nothing. Now I am checking. See, now there is a file. This is actually file, okay, not a directory like HTML because I am using cd index.html. It won't work because that's a file actually. See, index.html is not a directory. Got it? So now I'm removing the index.html, okay, because I'm creating it another way. There is three ways to create the file, okay. So I am removing. How to remove a file? Using the rm command. Remove, then the file name. HTML. Sorry. Say yes. ls again. See, the file is removed. So the next way, easy way is we can use a editor. Editor means inside this command line we can use some file editor. Okay. So different editors are there. One is Nano and one is Vim. So Nano is user friendly. Vim is much complex actually. So for us a new freshers in Linux, we can use with the Nano. This is a command for opening a editor. So opening a editor, we need to specify a name for, I mean a file name. This is opening a file editor actually. Okay. So using Nano, then we can specify the name. What name? The same name, index.html. So we means we are creating the file name. HTML. So whenever I hit enter, it will create a file editor. The file and the file name will be index.html. See, now I am in the file index.html. See, on top index.html, and this is the file editor. Here we can type the command and all the things related to the file. So I didn't create any. I mean, I have some application. Okay, I will copy the content and paste it in the here. See, the HTML content is done. Here I will create changing something like just customizing. That's all. Okay, this would be fine. How to save the content and exit means I mean using Control X. Okay, so it will ask to a save modified buffer. Just hit the enter. I mean not enter. Hit Y. Yes for Y and hit enter. So the content is created. I mean the file is created with the code. I'm again checking ls. See, index.html is there. ls. We can double check what the things are under the index.html using cat command. Cat. Cat command is for why we are using cat command. we need to know what are the contents are under the file. Okay. First, we need to type the cat command, then the file name. Here, only one file name. So I'm using the file name. If any other file name, then we need to choose the corresponding file to view the content inside the file. So it listed under the command. Okay, see, these are the things under the index.html. So that's fine. So the next thing is we install web server. We copy the application code inside the index.html file and everything is fine. Okay. So how to access the application? For this case, we didn't configure any DNS name or anything like, I mean, domain name like abc.com or anything. Here we are using our public IP. Okay. Copy the public IP and paste it in the web browser and hit enter. Nothing happened here. We need to specify the port number as well. Okay. The port number is 80. It won't work. Anyone know why? All of you.
The port is closed. You have to open the port on the virtual machine.
Yes, yes, yes. So what will you do? We go to the back of EC2 machine. See, this is our EC2 machine. I only opened the port number SSH for remote connection when I'm creating the machine. Okay. And all other ports are closed. Now we are using one service actually, or one protocol like HTTP. This is for HTTP. So what we'll do is we need to open the port that used HTTP. So go to the security. We can see the security group that is attached to our virtual machine. So this is a security group. So click the security group. This is another method to open the port. Okay, we can open the port in the first time. I mean, when creating the virtual machine. But here we can see how to open a port. Okay, so here edit inbound rules. This is the security group. Okay, dashboard and edit inbound. You can see there is only one port is open, 22. I am editing the inbound rule, and here we can add rule. Then choose the service. Here we are using HTTP, right? So we are using HTTP application. So choosing the HTTP application, by default, the port number 80 is assigned for HTTP. And yeah, we need to choose the source type. Who can access the application through the port number 80? This is for web application. So we need to expose the application to anywhere. Okay. So which IP we choose? All internet. So 000/0 is fine. So everything is fine. Just save the root. That's all. Again, go here. So here this is get bad bay. Just refresh. See, this is our application. Got it.
Yes.
Yeah, got it.
So this is a simple task to create a VPC and deploying a virtual machine, then install, configure the web server, then expose some sample application. Anyone have any doubt? All of you.
No, fine.
Nothing from my side.
Yeah,
Okay.
so far we are good.
Okay. Hope everything is clear. So I will post some home lab for you all guys in the group. So just go through the home lab. Okay.
Okay.
All of you have the AWS account, right?
Yes,
Yes.
I have.
And one more thing, what are services we are using or how many machines we are on? After the lab, delete all the things, okay? Sometimes we didn't bother about some machines are running or it will take some charges. That's the problem. In my previous batch, some students facing some issues with the, they didn't know that that service is running or not. So they are charged some amount like $100, $200, something like that. So keep in mind, after section we need to delete all the things. That's all. So this is
All the things like means
not the
subnet
VPC,
and
not the VP.
BP
No. Only the machines. Only the I think VPC.
instances.
Yeah, VPC doesn't charge anything, but some services are chargeable. So we need to close the chargeable items after the lab. In this lab, only the virtual machine will charge, right? So I'm just deleting the virtual machine. Now I go to the EC2 dashboard. You all are try to access the application, okay, using the IP. Copy. I will post in the chat. The port number is 80, so especially the port number as well. It's working, right?
Where is the status?
Sorry.
Once, you mean like instances which uh, we created that we need to delete, or some virtual machine means that instance, right? The
Yes.
running instance.
How to delete a virtual machine? I will show you how to delete a virtual machine. Just to select the virtual machine, okay? My screen is visible, right?
Yes, yes.
So my machine name is server test. Select. Now I select the machine. See here, instance state. Here we can see terminate instance. So just terminate and terminate. So it will go to shutdown. After the shutdown stage, the machine will terminate automatically. Got it.
Yes.
See, now the machine gone. You gone. See, it's shutdown state. After some time, it will go to terminate state. Okay. See,
So each,
terminated.
okay. The
That means it's
instances will
deleted.
be there, only the status will change, right?
No. Now it's visible here, but after some minutes or some hour, it will gone from here. We didn't bother about if
So
the state is terminated.
every so every time we need to create the instance, configure the instance, and
Yes. Each
run
lab,
start it.
or else we can stop the machine. If we stop the machine, it will they will charge a less amount. Okay,
Okay.
because we attach some volumes to that machine. We reserve the volume, so they will charge the volume amount. That's all. The machine is stop state, but they will charge for the volume because we reserve the volume. Volume means the hard disk. You got it.
But when they charge, it will be notified, right? With- We'll
Mm,
get a
not
notification
not
that they
not
are
not
going to charge.
not not notified. Otherwise, we need to create alarm and do the things. But the simple scenario, we will create the machine, and after the lab, we need to delete the machine because each lab we will deploy different machines. This is for a web application, right? So web application, we need a minimal machine. So I'm going to other lab like install Jenkins, Docker, like that. We need to choose some big size machine. So best practice is removing the machine that we work, like what I did now. Just terminate it. So you will get more practice creating machines again and again, choosing different networking and all the things.
Okay, sir, got it.
Yeah. Okay, then there's no doubt, then we can wind up. All of you.
Yes, sir, we can do that. I have
Okay.
no
No
questions.
doubt.
And one more thing, this is now we are deploying a web application. This is a normal way of deploying an application, okay? And we can say uh, these are the way traditional application are deployed, okay? Like on-premise application, they will select two machine. Now we are only taken one machine, but instead of this, we can choose two machine and create a load balancer and all the things. This is a traditional way or a minimal way of deploying application. Nowadays, we are deploying the same application in Docker or Kubernetes actually. Okay, keep in mind. And coming section, when we are going with the half of the section, we will go, deploy the application into different platform like Docker and Kubernetes. Then we will learn higher level, like how to deploy. This is a manual deployment, okay? So we are using DevOps tools like Jenkins for creating CI/CD pipeline and creating attaching different tools to integrate the CI/CD pipeline and deploy through automatic way. Okay, got it. All of you.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then we can wind up, right?
Yes, yes, we can do that. Thank you.
Yes.
Goodbye all.
Thank you. Have a good night. Bye, everybody.
Good day.
Good
Bye-bye.
day to
Bye.
good day. Good night. Yep.